And Lord wants to help you gain the hope that you're looking for. He's got it. And so we're going to introduce an amazing couple here tonight in just a second. I do want my lovely wife, to share for just a quick minute, anything on your heart.
Oh, yeah, no, really, this is it. I mean, for me, my testimony is that, we're married 33 years. We've had 5 children. We have 10 grandchildren. And with being 57, that comes along with menopause. And
Everyone.
Yeah.
She married I can't say
So with that comes you're going in, menopausal symptoms. And I had hot flashes, like 15 to 20 a day. I couldn't stand there without just talking with you, and I'd get all red in the face and dripping down the back, and it was horrible that day and night. And then I had a thing called menopausal anxiety, and I didn't even know that was a thing, but I guess that goes along with the package. And where I was just afraid of everything. And, since wearing this patch, it took about 3 weeks. And I woke up and I didn't have any more hot flashes that night. And I was like, wow. I had a few during the day, but then they got less and less and less. And it was like, oh my goodness, this is incredible. Also, I wasn't anxious anymore. I mean, it wasn't like I had to get something to calm myself down. I felt like I was balanced. I had security, and I felt like I was back to my old self again. I was like, oh, this feels so much better. Plus, as time went on, the patch helps build collagen. My hair started growing, so I kind of feel like I have high school hair, which, in the past, I was just like, I used to have to wear extensions and everything just to get long hair, and now I don't have to anymore. So that builds collagen, the patch, which is wonderful. And then the other thing is, Ken had to remind me, I'm not complaining about my hip pain at night anymore when I'm sleeping. So having 5 kids, you get lots of hip pain, and so I don't have pain anymore. So everybody, this is it. We have the cookie. This is it. This is the patch that can help with many, many things. The inflammation, the brain fog, the focusing. So you're at the right place at the right time with the right product and wonderful, wonderful people. So yeah, this is awesome.
Yeah, it's been a blessing. And listen, we're not doctors. We can't claim this is going to treat anything. You talk to your doctor about that. We're just excited to show you what we've seen with our family and friends, which is absolutely spectacular. So there's no product claims tonight on the patch. Just want to let you know that. But what I want to do now is when we first came in, we're excited. And I belong to this networking group called BNI. And I had a friend of mine, Greg Warnbeer, and I shared this amazing patch with him. And they got on. Him and his men, they got on, and they took off with it. And to watch what happened for them, and their life changed, and now they've helped change countless lives. And they're going to give the first half of this presentation tonight, and then we're come to the second. But I want to bring up Greg and Mena, and I want everybody to give them a warm welcome because they are senior presidential directors on the way to lead this opportunity.
Well, welcome again, Bradenton. How we doing? So we're trying to fit the camera to the zoomies. Hey, zoomies, how we doing? This was not an easy task. We got 3 zooms going just to make sure that we all are on here. So, but again, I appreciate the roomies instead of the zoomies. So again, I'm Greg Warren's beautiful wife, Mena, and her accent's because she's from South Africa. So if you pick up on that, I got a kind of weird accent too. I'm from a third world country called Detroit, Michigan. You might have heard that place. So that's where I'm from too. So yes, over there too, which is awesome. So, but we're going to talk a little bit about the business, to talk a little bit more about the product tonight. Thank you, Ken and Diana. Again, I'm going to thank them until the day I die, because again, this has been such a tremendous blessing for us. To give you a little background, I actually was in a car accident back in 2016 where someone plowed into the back of my car going about 60 miles an hour, damaged my neck, my shoulder, my back. So you can only imagine chiropractors, acupuncture, acupressure, everything imaginable, CBD, essential oils, everything helped a little. And then when Ken told me about this amazing technology, this amazing patch, I said, oh my goodness, this little tiny thing. I'm like, what's this little thing going to do? But I'll try anything. 3 days later, no more issues, my knee, my hip, my shoulder, my neck, my back. I'm like, what in the heck is this? I'm researching online. Finally looked this up. He sent me, right? Finally looked at it and I said, this is real. This is real. After 2 hours of research, and it was absolutely amazing. So the part that for me was I started looking at different things. We started talking to other people about this. started getting other testimonials, and I'm like, oh my goodness. So the first thing is we don't have the clicker working. So we're actually gonna have David, I'm gonna have you go to the next slide real quick. So one of the first things we started talking about was actually, I looked up the company and saw this gentleman named David Schmidt. And David actually is the inventor and CEO of the company, invented X39, specifically was doing research, actually working with the Navy SEALs 20 years ago, helping them stay alert during 36 hours. Some people appreciate that, right? During these critical missions, started working with them, and they started working with Olympic athletes and the Olympic swim team and all these different people. But then in 2008, he changed everything. He said, I want to focus on stem cells. Why? Because he focuses really, if you look at specializes in age reversing. Thank God for people like that, right? I was so excited about that. But then really what came down to is that this one product took 10 years, $4.5 million of research and development. And so we got super excited about it. At least I got super excited about it. My wife was a little bit different because obviously being an attorney, she's like, yeah, I don't think so. So if you want to go to the next slide, this is the thing that got her excited was the patent.
I was wondering if you were going to get to hear my accent. He pretty much took it away. But so yes, my background is law, and I was skeptical. I wanted nothing to do with this patch. I mean, what was a little sticker going to do for anybody? And so when Ken came and approached Greg, I was like, hey, we've got meetings. He has 5 minutes and get him out of here because I want nothing to do with that. And we also had our plates were really full. I mean, you know, we didn't have space for anything else. And then Ken brought his lovely wife Diana along, and I couldn't be that rude, you know. So I had to kind of entertain for a little while, and you know, I was closed. I didn't want anything to do with it. I said, look, you take a look at it if you're interested. You know, he had an amazing result. It was undeniable. You know, when you go from 6 years of moaning and groaning absolutely every day, the noise, my ears were hurting. And then all of a sudden, there's no more moans and groans. It's like he couldn't put that on. I mean, it just was real. And I said, well, something is going on. And so I was like, okay, you know, maybe I should look at what's happening here. He told me he didn't have shoulder pain, he didn't have knee pain. I'm like, no, go to your doctor, let him check you up. I'm not going to take your word for it. He goes to his doctor, and the doctor can't even adjust him. He's not 1 millimeter off. Perfect homeostasis. And I'm like, okay, well, the doctor's telling him that he's not moaning. Maybe I should just look at this. So I take a look at the website. And by the way, he has not been back to that doctor since September 2022.
Yeah.
Okay. So you know, I thought, hey, you know what? There must be something about this. So I looked through the website and I saw a patent. And my understanding, because a lot of my friends actually specialize in registering patents, and I said, oh my goodness, you can't register a patent on a product unless you prove that it's one of a kind. Exclusivity. That was like ringing bells for me, because at the time we had 16-year runs still, because the patent is registered for 20 years. The other thing is, you can't make all those statements in a patent on a black and white document if you haven't proved that it's true. And so I looked at this, and you know, there's this amazing paragraph in there that is highlighted, because that's what blew my mind. You know, when it says embodiments as a result of elevating copper peptide, which I didn't know anything about, but you can read that up on the website. It says including activation of stem cells, improvements in energy, elevation of antioxidants. I knew that was a good thing. Reduction in inflammation, huge one for me, because I was waking up with stiff hands in the morning, okay? And so that was the improvements in management of pain, huge. Improvements in stamina, elevation of collagen production. Who is drinking collagen, powders, shots? Well, I was, okay? And improved wound healing. And when I saw that, I said, oh my goodness, this is going to change a lot of lives. So, you know, I was more open to listening to this, and I thank God that we did.
Yeah, so next slide, you could. Yep. And so one thing, people say, well, why X39? And a lot of people don't know much about stem cells. How many people know much about stem cells? You know much about them, even prior to the business? I knew enough to be dangerous. I actually had a client of mine that actually we built a website for that talked about stem cell injections, and I was looking at getting stem cell injections myself. But the one thing I never realized is that your stem cells go dormant over time. And that was a part that was news to me. I've only found one person so far that's known that. And what's interesting about that is they said by the time that you're 30, you basically have half the stem cell activity you have when you're younger and born, so to say. And by the time you're 60, you have 5 to 10% maybe. Now I can tell you I was feeling it at 52. 52, I felt like I was in my 60s, going into my 70s, getting out of bed. It's like even in the middle of the night, it was like, oh my gosh, I gotta go to the bathroom. It was like, I'm serious. It was bad. I'm like, how do people, it sounds bad, but like old person shuffle, and it's like, and I'm thinking to myself, going, this is how do people, and I'm rolling in bed, I'm in pain constantly. And now I feel like I'm my 30s, like early 30s going into my 20s. Because when you activate your stem cells, your whole body changes. And that's the part that I thought was significant. So I need someone back there to change the slide to the next slide, please.
Right.
Oh, so we have some, we get it work? Yes or no? Yeah, if you want to go to the next slide, if not, we'll test it out. Okay.
Is that you back there?
Yeah.
30.
Yeah. Okay. So keep looking. So do I. Sorry. Sweet. Okay, good.
So the question is, well, how does X39 work? Okay, so it's a proprietary form of phototherapy. Who has heard of red light therapy? Light therapy? Well, it's that is what it is. It's a term called photobiomodulation. Look that up. Anyway, it's patented nano crystal technologies. There's absolutely nothing chemical about this. It's all natural, all organic. It is not invasive, not transdermal. So Olympic athletes can actually utilize it. They're able to wear it. And no drugs, chemicals, or stimulants. And we are not here to tell you that it diagnoses, treats, or cures anything. That is the disclaimer. It is completely natural. But one thing we realized is that our friends and family were experiencing results, amazing results.
Yeah, what's neat is that we live in the Sunshine State, right? So we're used to having sun. So what's interesting, we experienced this photobiomodulation was a word I learned too. Basically every day this phototherapy, because when we go out in the sun, our skin is our biggest organ. And what it does is when the sunlight hits our skin, it basically elevates and activates things in our body, like vitamin D. How many people get vitamin D from the sun, right? Well, it's not pushing out vitamin D. It's pushing out a frequency of light that hits our skin and elevates vitamin D in our body. So we emit heat and light 24/7. So if I put on night vision goggles, we'd all literally be glowing in the dark because we emit light constantly. The patch actually reflects that light back in our body, and that's what stimulates and activates everything. It's absolutely brilliant. That's what took 10 years to come up with the right frequency to do that. So next slide, David. Thank you.
The benefits of X39. So this is a slide that I absolutely love, because when I looked at this, I thought to myself, oh my goodness, I've experienced absolutely everything. And increased strength. I was feeling that. Reduced inflammation, definitely. Increased stamina. Energy and vitality. I have to remind myself what's on that slide. Energy and vitality, mental clarity, restored muscle and skeletal conditions, improvement of sleep. And this is where I'm going to tell you that when I put the patch on, I didn't wear it because I was thinking about my sleep. But I have slept so badly for many, many years. And if you don't sleep, your health, it depends on good sleep, a body that's rested. And for many years, I went to bed worrying about clients and their problems and how am I going to fix them? Am I doing the right thing? So I didn't sleep. I would pretty much lie awake all night. And if I did sleep, it was a little bit. And if I heard a little noise, I would wake up. So no deep sleep at all for me. And about a week and a half wearing the patch, I slept right through the night. I was absolutely flabbergasted. The next morning I woke up, I thought, what on earth hit me? Did I sleep without even getting up to go to the restroom? I was like, oh my gosh, right through deep, rested sleep, like that REM sleep where you actually dream and remember your dreams. And I was blown away, because that was not a reason why I put the patch on. I had no idea that was going to happen to me. And for over 2 years now, I am sleeping like a baby, not waking up to go to the bathroom. And I am rested. And that is a blessing for me, because for the longest time I said, how on earth do you put your head on a pillow and fall straight asleep?
I'm exhausted.
And he's like, just shut your mind off. I'm like, I cannot do that. I can't shut my mind off. But praise God that now I'm experiencing what it is to sleep well. and improves skin appearance. We've seen this with everybody, and David Schmidt talks about optimal health, a state of complete physical, mental, and emotional well-being. And we all want that. You know, that's what we are trying to achieve in this life.
Absolutely. So we could have pages and pages of this. So Lily just a highlight of that. So if we want to go to the next slide, that'd be great. There we go. Perfect. Okay. So this is again something that he does all these tests. So they've done all kinds of studies, over 80 case studies. Lily even doing more case studies now, but this one is the topography of actually our brain. So they do a scan of our brain. So this is actually a 77-year-old woman that placed the X-ray on the back of her neck, said, don't change anything else except for we're just going to use a patch and drink water. We'll talk about that. But again, session one, if you look at all the reds and oranges and everything, so it says that she came, you know that she came in, her brain was hyperactive, her brain calmed down dramatically. The second visit, because the first one, basically look at all the red and orange, that's inflammation in the brain. So what happened, they put the patch on, you work 12 hours a day, we'll talk about that. But again, 3 weeks later, what's missing? All the inflammation, right? Now once again, give it says no more inflammation, improved brain coherence. Another 3 weeks later, that's what a balanced brain looks like. And so what David noticed, he said, within 6 weeks, your brain becomes balanced. And so he also talked about, he said, because of this, he said, I could do scans of all the organs in her body. She probably had inflammation throughout her whole body. You can imagine what happens with that when you get rid of inflammation. It's amazing what happens throughout the whole body, which is pretty awesome. So if you want to go to the next slide, it'd be awesome. So some of the things also for long-term results is that, once again, per the different case studies on thisisitinfo.com, this is a place you can go and see all the different case studies and information. But the first few days, 4,000 genes begin to reset to a younger, healthier state. Now, I didn't understand that, but they said it's like your body rebooting. So it's the same thing if I had my computer earlier today, I was trying to get something done and it's like not working. So what I do? I rebooted it. So that's what happens. So your body goes into this amazing reboot and basically starts changing. That's why some people notice something the very first day. We have people that are 1-patch wonders. I was a 3-patch wonder, right? 3 days later. But the second thing is within 6 weeks, your brain becomes balanced. That's what we showed on that. Oh, the other thing back about the first few things was 4,000 genes begin to reset. Some people will talk about, once again, resveratrol is being added to a lot of supplements, and it's like a hero product because it resets genes, as in red wine, right? But that resets 2 genes. This resets 4,000, a little bit different, right? But then once again, brain becomes balanced. Within 3 months, your collagen levels increase 2, 3, 400%. How do you like that idea, right? I mean, all guys actually raise your hand too. Trust me on this. You got collagen all over your body. And then within 6 months, your heart reverses an age, an average of 8 years younger. So I'm 54 now, but my heart's a whole lot younger than I am. I'm telling you, it's pretty amazing the differences in that. That's what David Schmidt says, because this is not anti-aging, it's age reversing. That's a pretty bold statement, but he can prove it scientifically, which is absolutely amazing. So Dave, you want to go to the next slide real quick?
So how do you wear your exfoliant on? So you put one on in the morning, at whatever time you choose, but make sure you wear it for 12 hours, take it off, throw it out, and put one on the next day. And you know, the clinical trials were done. David Schmidt shows the patch at the back of the neck on the C7 or underneath the belly button. But really, you can stick it where it hurts. That's what I know people who put it on the knee, they've had knee pain, and it's helped because it is systemic. So it will go to work wherever it's needed in the body. So stick it, just the main thing is put it on and take it off at night, because preferably rest and repair at night. Now, people who work night shift, we're obviously saying put it on at night and take it off in the morning because they're going to bed during the day. So throw it away. And Gina Merritt always says, do not stick it on your husband. Make sure he has his own patch.
Freshly patched.
Drink plenty of water. That's important because you want to stay hydrated. And the one thing is, make sure you have electrolytes or minerals in your water. A lot of, there's reverse osmosis water, which they remove all the minerals. So you want to add minerals to your water and stay hydrated. Yeah.
Absolutely. So next slide. So we have a lot of different testimonials we could go through. So I didn't set this up. So do we have some testimonials? So I'm going to actually introduce some people because we want to give some testimonials today. So
I've asked Joyce to come and share her testimony with us. And Joyce is also Senior Presidential Director in the company. I think that's the reason why we are all here. Very much.
Thank you. It's great to see you all tonight. This patch changed my life, and I was a 1-patch wonder. I had been rear-ended twice in 2019, 9 days apart. I blew 9 discs in my neck and my back. I had surgery on my neck. I could have 4 levels of titanium in my neck, and I was in excruciating pain every day of my life. When I got up out of bed to go to the bathroom at night, I was like a 95-year-old woman trying to make it to the bathroom because for some reason, when you lay down at night, the pain seems to get more intense. I guess because you're focusing on it. But Steve and Gina Merritt called me on June 30th of 2022. 6 days later, I got the patches in the mail and I put on a patch, July 6th. And within minutes, all of my pain was gone. And I thought, what in the world is this? Because I could just bend over or sweep or mop and my sciatica would just kick in and it's nothing I could do. I didn't take opioids. I didn't take the pain pills. I didn't take the injections. I just dealt with it naturally and I just suffered with the pain. But that day, all the pain was gone within minutes. And I'm going, what's in this patch? And I just started sharing it with everybody. But since then, I've seen so many changes in my life. I had periodontal issues. They're all gone. I have a nodule on my thyroid. My endocrinologist said it's decreasing and it can't do that. And I said, what do you mean it can't do that? You just told me it's decreasing. And she said, well, I've never seen that before. What are you doing? So of course, I told her about the X39. So I just tell everybody about it because things are constantly changing in our bodies. And like Greg was saying, our bodies are rebooting. I mean, I have the energy. I'm going to be 70 years old in July. And I have the energy of a 35-year-old person. And I sleep great. You know, I used to wake up during the night thinking of all the things I need to be doing. And I couldn't go back to sleep. Now I sleep through the night. And just share with everybody because everybody needs these patches. My sister lost her husband in June of 2022, just before I heard about the patch. And she was having migraines every day of her life since he died. He just fell dead right in front of her. And she couldn't get rid of the migraines. And she had knee problems. She needed 2 knee replacements and she didn't want to do surgery. So I saw her about 5 days after she lives up in Mississippi. I saw her about 5 days after I started wearing the patch. I said, I don't know what this would do for you because we were all new. Our team was new and we didn't really know anything. So we were just wearing and sharing. So I told her to put the patch on, see what it does for her. She told me the next day, she says, I said, how's your migraine? And she says, well, I keep waiting for it to come back. I'm going, oh, okay. And I said, well, how are your knees? And she says, they feel better too. And I wonder, what in the world is in this patch? And I started just sharing it with everybody, all my family. If they said, I have vertigo, put the patch on. I put the patch on the next day, my sister-in-law said her vertigo was gone. And I'm going, we are onto something here. I was just going to wear this patch for my own health when we first started, but I couldn't keep quiet. I couldn't stop telling people. I realized I started telling people before I ever saw a patch. I signed up 4 people before I ever saw a patch. And because I knew if Steve and Gina was calling me to tell me about the patch, it had to be something important. So I thought, well, we might make some money with this, even though I didn't know what the patch was going to do. But once I put that patch on and it changed my life, I had to reach out to everybody. And then I called Ken and Diane, and that's why all of you guys are here. So we're being blessed. My husband Wayne had arthritis in his hands, and now all of that's gone. He couldn't play golf 2 days in a row because his hands would hurt. And now that's gone. His hair is turning dark again. And plus, another thing, my hair was standing in the back, and all of that's sticking up again. So I think this patch can help your body to reboot and help your body to change anything that's going on. Nobody can convince me that this is a placebo. And I've had some people say it's the placebo effect. And I'm going, yeah, 2.5 years later, the placebo effect.
So Lisa, if you'd like to join us and come share your testimony.
Absolutely. So Lisa Weaver, all the way from Lehigh Acres.
Yeah.
Okay, my journey with X39 started because Mel called me out of the blue. I had been praying and praying because I was in so much pain from menopause and arthritis in my back. I had gotten to the point where my pain level was at about a 12 and I was using a cane every morning when I got out of bed because I just couldn't walk without it and until my body got warmed up. So when Mena called me, we just decided just to give it a try. We tried everything else. So the first thing I noticed, the first day I wore it, when I went to bed that night, I slept, like Mena said, I slept all night. I was amazed because I've never, since I was a teenager, I've never slept all night. And it was, I think it was about 3 weeks. I woke up in the morning and it was 10 o'clock in the morning. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is like so late. I jumped up and I ran into the bathroom and was brushing my teeth and realized I didn't use my cane. And I didn't need it. I didn't feel like I needed it. And I just did a happy dance and I just like was yelling and I dropped to my knees and I was praying and thanking God and obviously Mena and Greg for calling us. And it's just, the more I wear it, the better I'm getting. Within about 6 weeks, my pain went down to, it was down to about a 2. Now every day it's a 0 to a 2. My gums were receding, they're growing back. Like Diana said, my hair is growing like crazy. There's just so much. My eyesight has improved 0.25 on each eye. My mom passed away at a very early age of a massive heart attack. So my siblings and I go every 4 to 5 years and, you know, get the whole workup done from the cardiologist. Well, I went 2 years ago in January, so it was only like 6 months after wearing the patches. And he told me that I now no longer have any plaque in the arteries around my heart. And this is the only thing I've done different.
Wow. And we can do one and not Richie. Sorry.
Is it Richie?
Yes.
Yeah, so Richard, you just come.
Oh, good. One more.
Testimony quickly.
Absolutely.
One more testimony.
Absolutely.
We needed to put a veil up here.
Yeah, there we go. We're fermented and test out.
Good evening, everybody. I didn't realize these patches did anything. A friend of mine got involved in them. And I said, well, I'm gonna support her. So I've been wearing a patch. About 6 months, I've been wearing a patch. Before I had an operation on my shoulder. Both of my shoulders have been giving me trouble for years. It's bone on bone. So anyway, I had this surgery, or I went in for surgery. And the anesthesiologist says to me, something doesn't look right here. I says, oh no, don't stop it now. And what it was, he was looking at my blood work and he says, how old are you? I said, I'm 83. He says, your blood work is like a person of 50 years old. I said to him, it is what it is. Let's go. So anyway, I had the surgery and it was you had it and you leave for that day. And a friend of mine was with me in the evening and she tried to give me the medicine that they wanted to give me and I refused to take it. I said, I have no pain. She says, well, you better take the medicine to stay ahead of the pain. I have objections with medicine, so I didn't take it. She gave me 2 Tylenols. I said, all right, I'll take the Tylenols. Anyway, in the morning, I woke up, she's there with the medicine ready to go. And I said, I have no pain. I had a total shoulder replacement and I have had no pain. It was stiff. The muscles in my arm were stiff, but that's the only problem I had. And the therapist is working it out and it's working fine. I wish this shoulder didn't hurt, but it still hurts, but it seems to be not as bad. But I'm scheduled for an operation the 17th of April. I don't think I'm gonna have any pain with either.
All right.
What? LIAL.
Looks like a 25-year-old.
That is amazing. So, and actually, it's interesting because you start thinking about sort of writing these things out. I have 20 things that's improved. So I challenge people all the time. Start writing out all things that improved. So if we want to go to the next slide real quick, and then we'll get Kim down in a second. So if you want to talk a little bit about the company.
So LifeWave is ranked #1 momentum by businessforhome.org. So if you just look at the numbers, I mean, it's just exploding and going all the way up. So now is the time to get in. We're in momentum right now.
Yeah, and go to the next slide. So usually cooking. So actually, this is something they did. This is actually at our church in River in Tampa Bay, just a little bit up the road here. They actually had an event there back in August of 23. And so David Schmidt came in, same with Burger Station on the far left, Mertz in the middle with the blue. But Steve and Gina Merritt in the black and also black and white are the couple that took a look at this and they changed the world. Literally, they're about to change the world to a higher level, 1 million strong. And so the interesting part about this is they also won the Direct Sales News Bravo Award for the fastest growing direct sales company in the entire world last year, and they won it again this year. Just got the new recipient for that. And even the guy who said that he runs this, he goes, no one was even close. So what's great about this, we've got a team approach of business. Once again, this is its system is uncommon and actually fantastic. So next slide, please.
So when we started using the patch, we didn't even know that the company LifeWave existed, and we found out that they were 20 years old last year. So right now they're 21 years old, and they're in over 75 countries around the world. So a lot of people are getting to hear about this, and you pretty much can share with anybody around the world that you know. And then they also have grown astronomically. When they introduced the X39, they were sitting at about 20 million US. And we closed at over 600 million US last year. So that is growth of $580 million over 4 years. I mean, what does that tell you? That people are using it, people are experiencing it, people are getting results because they wouldn't be sharing if they weren't. I mean, we heard Richie tell us as an 83-year-old, 83, that his blood work is like that of a 50-year-old. So you think he's not going to be telling people that? I mean, my goodness, I'd be shouting it to the world because everybody is looking for something, and so people are sharing. And the company is predicted to close at over $1 billion this year. The thing that really got me was that nobody else has this product. You can share the wonderful things like skincare, hair care, CBDs, essential oils. They're all great. And we use a lot of products from small business owners still. We absolutely love them. Will we stop using them? Maybe not everything, but I have ditched my collagen that I was drinking, my collagen shots, my biotin pills, but you're not going to find this product in a CVS or a Walgreens, and nobody else has it. And so when we're sharing this with people, I mean, just today, I probably shared with about 20 people.
Yeah.
Okay. And I'm not going to tell you how that happened because that's another story. But, there's ways and means of getting before people, and not one of them knew about it. Not one of them. So what does that tell you? That people are still, there are a ton of people out there, and we cannot be quiet. And like our Portuguese friends say, it's our social responsibility to share something good. Why keep it a secret? So, hey, now's the time again. We're going to $1 billion. You want a piece of that? Now's the time to get started.
Absolutely. So if you want to go to the next slide real quick, and then we're going to wrap up. So the one thing we're going to finish up, and then we're going to bring Ken and Diane up, is that really this, and if you look on the screen here, a lot of people have different ideas or reasons why they'd even get involved in the business or do something different. For us, the number one thing has always been family and time with the family. My wife being from South Africa, it's amazing that we've been able to a chance to spend a lot of time there, which has been amazing. But the interesting part, the word freedom to me was the biggest word, because I was working at a job, and some of you may be working at a job where literally I had a mentorship management when I first started working with them. And then they implemented a program called Salesforce, nothing wrong with Salesforce, but then they started becoming a tour mentorship management program where it drove us nuts. It was just, we had other people leave. I left. I finally said, I said, I wanted to get out of there. And so I asked my wife, I said, will you help me build this? And she said, yes. I said, I want to get free. And within 14 months, was able to basically replace her 6-figure income. And 2 months later, fired my job. Now, the thing is, I always tell people, depending on what you're, so the one thing I said, it depends on what you want to do, but for us, our income has quadrupled since then in the past year. So it's when you talk about a product that's time has come, we can't stop talking to people about that. So whatever it is for you specifically. So I'll pick on the young lady here, the yellow thing here. So is there a specific word up here that means the most to you? What would be the one that kind of points out to you?
Probably family time.
Family. So family time. Absolutely. So those are 2 words. So it's okay. You got family. No, I'm just kidding. So family and time. So is your family local here, or is it something you go to visit them?
All over. I mean, we're here, we're in Canada, we're in Oregon, Four Corners, yeah.
Yeah. So be able to spend time with them. Is it just siblings or is
To
it?
be there, siblings, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's fantastic. How many people like the idea of family time, right? Being able to spend time with your family, right? So I'll pick up this other young gentleman here with the blue jacket. So for you, what word up here are a few words that actually make maybe most sense to you?
Better health, less pain.
Yep, better health, less pain. That's absolutely right. So right now, are you utilizing the product, or is it something new for you, or is it something you've seen?
No, this is new.
This is brand new.
I'm there.
Fantastic. That's awesome. So our prayer is that the same thing that happened to us, the same thing that happened for a lot of other people is going to happen to you as well. So I'm just going to say it out there. So if you get better health and less pain, would you be willing to share this with some people, at least let them know about it?
Absolutely.
Fantastic. And that's all we're doing. So that's the biggest part to this. So for us, the one thing we're looking at more than anything else is looking for people who are willing to share. And it's something more than just saying, hey, I've got something that can help people out. And so there's obviously a compensation plan behind this. But the most important thing is I want you to write down what's important to you. If on the Zoom here, what's important to you, write those things down. And whoever invited you, you want to let them know what's important to you. Because once we know what's important to you, we want to help you accomplish that, if that makes sense. We're going to help you spend time with your family if that's what you really want to do. And that's something we look at more than anything else is trying to figure out who can we help? How can we help them? Some people are just interested in the product. No problem. Some of you might be saying, I just want the product. Other people are like, I get a lot of friends and family. This can really help. And that was us. So the one thing but I'm so grateful and thankful for Ken and Diana Burke, because again, when they talked to us, it wasn't the first time, it was the second time. I think it was the fourth time that fourth time that he finally came over to the house with Diana. And when he came over, Diana said, okay, actually my wife would be engaged because otherwise she would have been busy upstairs. You know what I mean? And so thank God for that. But they have changed their life and they're changing lives around the world. They've got a massive organization and he's a business owner, understands finance, understands numbers. And if you want to take notes on this, because he's an expert in this business and also knows how to build relationships. So again, I want to bring that back up. Mr. Ken Burke. Yes.
Great job, great job. Wow. Yeah, Diana, we have our strengths. My wife and I have our strengths, and so hers are much bigger than mine. So I'm just going to talk about the numbers a little bit here. So I know some of you want to know about the numbers. Yeah, what the numbers represent are miracles. You've heard about it. You know, the best way to make money in life is with integrity. What does that mean? That means people matter more than money. And so we have an opportunity to be financially rewarded in the most amazing way using the most powerful form of advertising on the planet, and it will never change. It's word of mouth. It is the most powerful form of advertising because I don't know where your faith is at, but God in the beginning said, in the beginning was a word, and the word was God, and we're made in his image. And in marketing today, still his image bears fruit as being the dominating factor. And he doesn't need salespeople. He needs people who love people, who love their best friend, their neighbor, their children. And that's how this thing rewards. And I'm going to show you the structure of how this company financially rewards those of us who care enough to let our family and friends and those know, and new people we don't even know, because we're so excited that we know they need to know.
He had to make her
We know.
daughter sandwich. She had to go get her daughter a drink.
That's got to mute some people. Yeah, Zoom still isn't perfect yet.
Yeah.
You know, and thank God in this opportunity, you and me don't have to be perfect.
Right.
It's really better to have someone come up here and just read the slides and then tell you that and go sit down. Seriously, because they say, well, heck, if they can do that, I might be able to do that too. Because honestly, the sooner you take ownership, be able to do that, the more hope everybody else gets when they're seeing the same thing. And that's important. And so it's really not so much what's on the slide that you're listening to tonight, it's what's in our heart. That's where the connection is made, because it's belief that drives the success of anything. And belief is what is contagious. And 2.5 years later, my wife and I are more lit with belief than ever before. And because we don't have to do burpees and go places and do all these things, you know, but why are we excited? Because we're watching lives change. I took pride in the ownership of my company and advertising company, what we did. But man, that didn't change lives. Now I've got a product to bring hope I like to say we can put the word fun back in the word dysfunction with families because you can put a patch on and your stress comes down. Because I didn't realize what an angry person I was for all these years prior to putting the patch on to my wife. I'm like, man, she is a saint. Because I'm not like that anymore. I still get upset. I'm still, Lord, please help me. But we have hope. So what I'm going to do now is, and this opportunity has, by God's blessing, we've checked all these boxes. And so that's what we want for you, but you've got to want it for you. And it's like this, you've got to want to love yourself enough to be able to get more for yourself, because then you'll find yourself doing right by others. When the oxygen mask drops down on the plane, who's supposed to put it on first? It's the one who needs to take care of everybody else. Listen, you can be on the hamster wheel of work for the rest of your life, and honestly, you're going to miss the dream God had for you in your life. Because the dream God has for you deals with the very strengths and unique capabilities He put inside of you, and He didn't put in anybody else. Because in His eyes, you are His favorite. There's no other you in the universe. Your thumbprint, your eye signature, your voice signature, and God dreamed you up before time began, and He with eyes of love, He made you, numbered all your days in His book. Knew you were going to screw a whole lot of things up. I'll speak about myself and still say, Ken, I love you. And then He goes even further. He'll say, Ken, I actually like you. I said, I didn't have a good day today, Lord. I think I didn't check all the boxes. Ken, I like you. And so it's important to kind of get your eyes off yourself, see what God's eyes look for you, because then you're going to want to find doing right by others. And we have this awesome little patch that we have the ability to go care for people and share this opportunity with people. And boom, now God gets to live bigger. His kingdom come, His will be done here through us, because now you're believing again in this. You're now believing that God has bigger for you, bigger than the work you're currently doing. Unless you love your work, that's a blessing. But according to all these magazines today, anywhere from 75% to 80% of people are not happy in what they do. And I've been there. Think about this. We only get one life. And this thing called time on that board, money, it can't even compare. We can't get it back. And is life really worth living, to work a job that you really don't like so you can pay some bills, maybe save some money and hopefully retire one day? I mean, is that really living? Not in God's eyes. What's living is trusting Him and asking, Lord, what are the things you put in my heart that I can go give the world? And ask Him. Because we have a vehicle with this opportunity that just starts with 4 people, sharing with 4 people we love and care about, that can begin to open up the word of mouth fire. And don't get me wrong, you're going to have people who don't believe you. You're going to have friends of yours you think should, they don't. The best part of this business is the miracles of the people. The worst part of the business is the people. Just reality. Welcome to Life 101. You'll never find anything in life that has a perfect path. But you will find integrity and vision and fortitude and all the things that make life fulfilling. And this opportunity captures that to make you your best use so you can be better for the world around you. And you get to be with people who aren't perfect. None of us are perfect, but we have integrity. We care. We have vision. And we're helping people wake back up so they can believe and they can have vision again. Because we want to bring them hope, not just better health, but hope. But why do you want the better health? So I can spend more time with my family. So I can take my skills and talents and begin to offer more to the world around me, so I can make a bigger impact and influence in the world around me. And so this opportunity is exactly about enabling your dreams to come true. And if you learn to fall in love with the dream maker, He'll add it unto you. Psalms 37:4. So let me give you the structure of how this thing has taken my wife and I, while I was working 60, 70, 80 hours a week, being beat up with my company, which I was proud of. And then Joyce, thank God, shared this with me. I got excited. I bought a biggest kit, I'll show you in a minute, because I believe in the law of abundance. I also believe that you reap what you sow. And I'm thinking, what's the biggest package of this stuff I can get? Because I need to get this like seeds as fast as possible and as many people as possible, because I want to see what happens. Because I simply believe in the law of abundance. And I'm like, isn't there a bigger kit? This is it, the bigger, that's all you got. And you can't go buy that thing again, right? So we're going to show you only buy these things one time. And also want to jump ahead. This is very important. This thing is built on a 2-sleep monthly subscription. You want to do some math? Think $199. And I'll tell them what that is. It's a 30-day supply for you and it's 30-day supply for your spouse. That's if God's going to bless you in this business, that's your commitment. Boy, I thought, well, I'm a businessman. My monthly commitment was almost 6 figures that we had to hustle to make sure my employees got paid and the bills from the company got paid. And a lot of that was all on me for 10 years. A lot of stress. And I'm thinking, hold on a second, as a businessman, my overhead's $199 a month plus shipping and tax. I got no employees, I have no brick and mortar. But I have the most amazing partner in the world called David Schmidt LifeWave, the team. They have a customer service department, so I don't have to within reason, right? They make the patches, I don't have to, right? They actually get us paid, and they are so darn good at what they do. They've gone from 20 million on the way to $1 billion, never skipped a beat on getting patches out the door. Never skipped a beat on getting us paid. That's one heck of a partner. If you're going to latch on to the fundamentals of how to prosper, you're going to need somebody bigger than you, that's better than you, that does things you can never do to latch on to, so you can go get done what God has in store for you. And that's what we have. Then we have a team. This is a team with Stephen, Gina, Merritt. I mean, think about it. This couple came on board 3 months ago, just 2 of them, and they said, we're going to implement a system for everybody to follow. And I like the word system. Right? Because how you prosper life, how you scale life is basically on 2 primary things: simplicity and duplication. One patch, and the next person can do that too. It's one patch, 4 people. That's how this thing starts. I love it. And it's just put belief in your heart to call the 4 people you love and care about. Not the people on social media. You don't know those people. Don't get me wrong, social media is a good thing, right? Kind of. But I've yet to do it. Now, that's my bad. I've never posted anything on social media. I've never used a business card to get to over 7 figures. Because word of mouth is awesome. Because people who you love and care about, you're picking up the phone and talking to them. Right? So is it your parent? Is it a best friend? Who is it that you're talking to? Right? Who is it? You know, and your family and friends and people you work out with and work with. Who are those people you love and care about? That's who you should be thinking about right now. Because, yeah, you got to make a product purchase because you're going to want that thing on you and people you love and care about. But then you need to be able to get a hold of the people you love and care about. And it's going to show you just starts with 4. And let's go help them get their 4. So let's kind of move forward here. So in doing so, you see this thing called 25 grand a week. That sounds like a crazy amount of money. But see, for me as a businessman, I need to hear that number. Because I needed a set free number. Now, I already made pretty good money around my advertising company, but I knew my set free number. And I want you to think about right now prayerfully, because the set free number isn't about how much money you really want to make and glorify money. Just envision this right now. Now, my set free number, I said, was 20 grand a week. Because I had a company and I had to do, someone's going to replace it and put me in another position. I had to envision what was it like to wake up in the morning and bam, now I'm getting 20 grand a week. What did my life now look like? What was I doing? What kind of time now did I have? What can I do with that time? What can you do with that time when you wake up in the morning and you think about your set free number? It's bigger than what any of the money could buy, if you're catching my vision. It's really what God has called you for, to liberate you, to begin to bring the things that are pressing you down because you don't have a set free number yet, which means you're not free yet. Now, you may be super happy in your job, maybe the 10%ers or 20%ers. That's an awesome thing. Don't change it, because we say it's God, family, work, and then this opportunity. And it's very important that you keep this thing God, family, work, and this opportunity. That's what I did, working 60, 70, 80 hours a week until we're making 4 times our income. That's 7 figures. That's crazy. Got a 19-year-old in this Bradenton making really, really, really good money. 24-year-old, probably 7 figures, 81-year-old grandmother in Puerto Rico. I know she's making crazy money. And then you got someone out in Penny in Texas, 700 people in her town out in the middle of nowhere, Texas, hit the highest rank in his business. These are not salespeople. These are not me. I'm the gifted salesman. You put me in any organization, I'll have the top in sales. This is not a sales organization. I'm not pitching everybody who's signing up in this opportunity. And I realized the freedom I began to get when we were 90 days in, and I was excited. Well, I was still working a lot. I enrolled about 60 people just to get down these passes, try them. And we went on a cruise for 2.5 weeks, well, 2 weeks, to Hawaii, Bora Bora. Took 4 days to go from Hawaii down to Bora Bora. Meaning I was in the middle of nowhere, Bill. Not realizing we're going to come back $2,500 richer. And what hit me, the Lord showed me, is I just got this gift called time. Because I didn't have to punch the time clock, go sell some ads, whatever, to go make that money. The collective efforts of word of mouth to people who are now discovering something new that they felt is important to tell their family and friends about, and they're making purchase, was paying my wife and I were on the beach of Bora Bora. And I came back and the light bulb hit me like, this is an amazing gift. I want to make sure all my family and friends can participate in this gift too. I called all 5 of our children, 33 down to 23. I already got some on the patch. You guys need to be on this. You need to wear it because you're going to sleep better, feel better, focus better. It means you're going to be better in your marriage, less stress. But then you need to share it because you're super busy. You don't have time for a side hustle, but you do have time like sharing a good movie or a good restaurant during the day in your business, doing a good job for your work for. You can share this and then get their eyeballs on a Zoom at night and let that do the heavy lifting for you. It's a beautiful system. So this thing you see here, 2 left, 2 right, it's on a binary, it's the name of the structure. It's a beautiful structure. It's a business structure. It's a businessman that protects the strength of the company and rewards people that you may send up after you to make more money than you. Unlike a pyramid, which A is illegal, and B, the people at the top make all the money and everybody at the bottom wishes they could. Thank God this is not like this. This entity protects my integrity and your integrity. Our good name means anything. And the MLM industry, if you will, has a bad rap because people give it a bad rap. But if you love and care about people, and if they don't do anything with you, it's okay, and you still love and care about them, you're still their friend, then you're good. So you'll learn more about it, but in short, so here's the pattern. You're going to enroll, you're going to come in and buy a pack. I'm going to show what you're going to buy in a minute. And your 2 friends on left and 2 friends on right, they're going to buy some product. Right. And I mentioned earlier about this 2-3 monthly subscription. Listen, you don't have to do any of this, by the way. And it's all month to month. You're never locked in, right? Which is awesome. So everybody's voluntarily doing what we're doing, and no one's telling us we have to do this, and we can willingly get the heck out anytime I want. I love that. That also protects my integrity and share with my friends. So, yeah, this goes to 25,000 a week. Well, the beautiful thing is my wife and I, we actually make more than that, which is insane to think about. And we still haven't even hit this 25,000 a week because the second slide, the next slide, you show that, Greg, is where this is why not everybody at the bottom is not making anything. Some at the top is making everything because the company wants to reward you for bringing on people who are sharing this like you are. And so you enroll a friend, you're going to get a 25% bonus of whatever they're making out of that $25,000 a week. Just blue sky say they start making $1,000 a week. Well, you got $250 bonus. Well, that friend enrolls a friend that you may not know who that kid is, but that's your second generation. There's $200 bonus if they're getting $1,000 a week. We're just using 1,000 a week as a run number. And then that secondary person, your second generation person that you may not know who they are, whatever, they enroll a friend, maybe their mom or whatever, right? To get these patches. Right. And things, and they themselves start doing that. Mom does something like my dad in the independent living facility started having me tell the nurses and other people get them on the patches. Right. So he's making money. Some little piece of what dad's making, And so, but that's your third generation, 25%, 20%, 20% bonus of whatever's happening with them each week. The company wants to reward you. That is awesome. So we have people that have, that we get blessed off. But I want to bring one up here because Andy and Mandy Hoser, they're awesome people. I just want them to share for a minute because these are amazing leaders. I'm learning from them, and I sponsor them. And so, and I like this whole business, you get paid to learn, right? So you get paid to get better. So Andy, if you come up here for a minute, man, I just love you. Andy, bring up the real horsepower. So if you just share with us briefly, because we're so honored to have you guys and how God's used you to really change our lives.
Awesome. Well, thank you, everybody. Hey, everybody on Zoom. My name's Andy Hosier. This is my wife, Mandy. And when we, it's 2 years and 3 months ago, right after their trip, he was at an event and he was talking about how much better he was recovering. And I happened to be walking by. And so I happened to be walking by. I'm sure I think the phone is ringing.
Take a patch off.
If you put your patch on at
Sorry.
9 this morning, you may take off.
I don't know. Anybody can do this. I mean, this is.
I don't remember when I put mine on.
So it was that day that my friend Ken was talking to my friend Kevin, and I overheard him. This is a true story. And my friend Kevin knew that I had a shoulder injury, and he said, "Hey, you should hear about this."
Somebody named Crow.
Thank God for that day. And I think, in fact, that day Ken didn't know that I had a shoulder injury for 14 months that I've been dealing with, and I was miserable. I was frustrated. I desperately needed X39. And that day I said, "Can I buy some from you right now?" This happened to be right before Thanksgiving. Now, if he would have said, "No, I don't have any, I'll send you a link later," it'd be Thanksgiving break, and who knows what would have happened. But he said, "I do. I've got one in the car." I followed him out. I bought some out of, his glove box or whatever. I don't know. And I came home. I started using it that day. Put the patch on. My 5th day, my shoulder injury was gone. It was 100% range of motion. I was completely blown away. That was right before Thanksgiving. And so I begged Ken to let me buy some more so that I could take it with me to my family and give it to my friend Larry and some friends, because I said, this is incredible, right? Now, the other thing that he didn't know is how desperately we needed this opportunity. That's the other thing. Because right before this, I was in good old corporate America, and I was managing a few days off a year. I don't know if you guys have been, playing vacation day bingo, but that's what I was doing. I was trying to navigate like a few days off, and our daughter, was playing in the high school golf state finals. It's a 2-day event. And so my wife and daughter went day 1, and I was going to come up on day 2, but then we had a hurricane warning, and they canceled day 2. And so I'm sitting 200 miles away from my little girl, and I missed her last ever high school golf tournament because of a job that they would replace me in 2 weeks if something happened. You know what I mean? And so we were struggling as a family, and we go, gosh, something needs to change. We didn't know it was going to be a patch. We didn't know it was at LifeWave. We didn't know it was X39. We just said something needs to change. Well, very quickly, Mandy started using the patch. She had amazing results. My mom, my sister, my buddy Larry. I mean, all of a sudden we go, this is undeniable how powerful this technology is. And as a business person, we go, what do you mean by patented? You mean this is the only wearable technology on planet Earth that does this? You have the only one for the next 15 years? And we go, this is like the millionaire maker.
That's right.
We need to take advantage of this. And so, we have a saying in our house. I know it's not good English. I'm from Indiana, so I apologize. We say, I can't not share it. When my neighbor throws it back out, I can't not share it. When my son, he's back here, he's 18, by the way, just turned 18 in March. He's a brand new brand partner, and is building a team. His teammate, who's also 18. These guys are like 18 years old, and they go, this is amazing. I want to be a part of this.
Yeah.
We have 80-year-olds on our team that are earning a 6-figure income right now, which is crazy. Just the variety is just unbelievable. So, we started sharing this with a few friends, and like like-minded people tend to hang out with like-minded people, right? You're the average of the 5 people you spend most of your time with. Well, we happen to be entrepreneurial, so I had some entrepreneurial buddies. And I go, hey, you got to check this out. You got to check this out. You got to check this out. My buddy Rich in California, my friend Danny in Texas, my friend Todd in Ohio. I mean, I just said, you guys got to check this out. And what we had no idea what would happen is that in 7 months, I replaced my corporate America income. And I go, I'm never going to miss my daughter's golf tournament again. By the way, she went on to play college golf, and my son's a soccer player. And I said, this is exactly, whoever said family time, I think, at the Yellow, it's exactly why we wanted this. We said it takes money to fund what we want to go do, right? I mean, it takes money to buy plane tickets and hotels and whatever. And so this vehicle is a solution for our family. It's a financial vehicle. Don't get me wrong. It's extraordinary, but we couldn't imagine, building a 7-figure business 2 years ago, which is just insane. And so, yeah, all that to share with you, we're in the middle of Manatee County, Florida, right now. I mean, look around. This is pretty unbelievable. All of our network is all over the country, by the way. So we're from Indiana, from Southern California. So our entire network is kind of out of the state. And I don't know about you guys, but I'm sitting back there. I can barely sit still because I'm thinking there's hundreds of thousands of people here in Manatee and Sarasota County and Parish. I mean, this is unbelievable what we have the chance to do, but you have to take the step. And we want to encourage you, whoever invited you, they can help you get an account. They can help you get started. Get to manager. We say manager by Monday, which is your 4. I know. I get excited. See, you just gave me the mic. Look out! I get excited. This is why I can't not tell you guys this. How's that? It's like I can't not tell you how just you are in the right place at the right time. I mean, if you had a chance to get a piece of $1 billion company, would you want it?
Yeah.
That was exactly our conversation when we had this, pillow talks at night. Like, what are we going to do? Finances, blah blah blah. If we had a chance to get a piece of $1 billion company, where do I sign up? Right? And so, thank God for Ken and Diana. They were very patient with us in the process. They were very, we to be honest with you, we didn't want to do this business. Because we just had things going on, and we go, I don't know if this business is for us, this product is for us. 9 days later, we were hunting them down to say, tell me more about this opportunity, because this product is so amazing, and it's the only one on earth for the next 15 years.
I'll just add real quick. So something that we share as a family, and we actually have 20 years of experience in this industry. And that's something that Ken did not know, that we had lost a business in this industry. And so we do have the experience, but we weren't sure that this was it for us until we had our personal testimonies. But I will say that something to think about tonight is just why you would do something like this. Why would you build something like this? And it's a so that I can. So if you fill in the blank, so that I can. And for us as a family, we are a family of 4, but the 3 of us just got to go on our first mission trip as a family. And it was a huge blessing. And just to be able to do that as a family, to have that experience. And honestly, it really made me realize that we're doing this so that we can not only just afford that type of experience, but that we have the time to do something like that. And just to have the impact, that we personally want individually, and that we personally want collectively as a family. And I'm sure each and every one of you have something that you feel called to do, or that you feel like you're supposed to do. And so one of the things that this opportunity can allow you, if you let it, that's the thing. If you have to let this company get inside of you to really change your heart. And so for us, this is so that I can. be with my family and go and do ministry around the world and have an impact and not allow finances to dictate where I can go and when I can go. And so that made a huge impact for us. And so thank you.
Man, praise God.
Thank you for sharing this with us because it's made a huge difference for us and for many others as well. And just couldn't be more blessed. The fact that our first month was $1,600, that didn't make much of an impact. But we knew that if we could make $1,600 a month, we could probably make that in a week. And we could probably make that in a day. And so that grew to 6 figures and on to 7 figures in just less than 3 years. And so if it can happen for us, we know that it can happen for anyone. And so we're encouraged that this is the world is open to us with this opportunity. And it's just something to share. So I hope that you take home with you that I so that I can, not that I can't not. We say too many things like that, right? I can't not share this, and I'm doing this so that I can, and fill in the blank, and we'll help you do it every step of the way. Thank you guys so much.
All right, so you guys are, I could never imagine the countless lives that have changed. And that's you in the chair right now. Not only just getting patches for yourself, but then starting the fire with 4 people. So let's go to the next slide. See how this thing starts. All right, go to the next one. All right, so what you see there in the left, middle, and on the right is what I call a 3, 6, and 20 pack, also known as a Core Advanced Premium. All right, now the 3-pack gives you basically the ability to kind of try the product. The 6-pack gives you the ability to hit the go button on this comp plan, get paid all the ways company pays, right? And the 20-pack gives you the ability to get to that wall of abundance, right? And so what is this? What are you talking about? Well, this is called a sleeve, and there's 30 of these little patches inside of here, which is on one day, 12 hours on, 12 hours off, totally. Put another patch on. So there's 30 patches in here. Now the retail rate on this typically is $149 for a month's supply. So, but why would you or any of your family or friends want to spend $149 when you can get it? No obligation, but get it for $99 and buy some of these kits and you can get it for less. But I'm going to fast forward. Think about, and here's really important: 97% of those who wear this product worldwide for 90 days see results. And I tell my family and friends, listen, don't waste your time putting this on you unless you really think about wearing it for 90 days. All right. I'll share a couple with you right now, but it's 90 days. And so why? Because the cause of your body's going to repress in 90 days. Your cardiovascular will be younger by at least 2 years and 6 to 8 weeks. And within 4 to 6 weeks, the left, right, lower brain is going to balance. And then fourthly, the anomalies of joint pain, back pain, all those other pains are going to dissipate away. So this is not an aspirin. This is your body being restored to a younger state through activating your own stem cells. This is profound. So it's so important that 90 days, just start thinking about that. Well, so we bought, I'm just going to skip it. So one of this for me, one of this for my wife. This is what we do, whether we're going to make any money or not. Right? And so this whole business is built on, if you're going to build it, one for you, one for your plus one. That's it. That's crazy. If you ever looked at owning a business, the amount of work and time and money involved is insane. This is it's almost like it's too good. So you underestimate and devalue the real value. What the heck's in your hands? This business in a box is crazy. It's already built. You just got to plug in with us. We're going to help you get your first 4 people and get this thing started. So think about 2 of these a month, right? Now, that's not going to start till next month if you choose it. What in the meantime we do is you want to get it for just a little cheaper than $99 and start getting some products so you start sharing with some family and friends. And so we want to buy that 20-pack. It's about $87.50. The 6-pack's like $89 a month. And the core pack's like a little around $99, $98 something a month, right? Or, $90 if you think about it. So, and I wanted the abundance. So I said, give me that 20-pack because I want enough for me and my wife. And you're really supposed to wear this 1 month for every 10 years of life. So I said, okay, I need enough for us. Then I need enough to be able to share with family and friends. And it's not that I was going to share a whole one of these with them. I was just going to share a few of them initially. But then when they want to sign up, I would then front them one of these so they could get on right then, not wait after 3, 4, 5 days, whatever it's going to take to get from San Diego priority mail to them in their mailbox. Right? So, and we signed a couple up at church a few months back. They bought a 20-pack after church on Saturday night. I ran out to my car and said, hold on, I'm going to front one of these to you now so you can start wearing these tonight. They put them on, call the next morning, can we sleep through the night? That's awesome. 3 days later, it's Tuesday, Ken. I've seen 4 chiropractors in 10 years. None of them helped me feel this good. And they were already excited, calling their family and friends. They still hadn't had theirs in the mailbox yet. But because I had enough extra to get them started, and then what they would then do after that is they would then replace back to me the one I fronted them. No, not the one. They replace a whole one back to me. They keep the one in front of them. So because I had extra to start the miracles now and redeem the time now. So that was the power of getting that done. And by the way, you can buy a 20-pack. You can push the 2-sleeve monthly subscription out 90 days. So it means next month and the following month, you're going to save some money for those no need because you've got enough right now. So, and then you say, hey, Ken, we'd love to do that. We just can't do that right now. But we could do the 6-pack is going to get started when to go on this comp plan. And all it gives you one for you, one for your loved one, and then it gives you 4 to be able to start. And then and that's $535. So $1,750 for the 20-pack, $535 for the 6-pack, which is about $89, right? Each, and then $295 for the 3-pack. Now here's the disclaimer: you can for $25 get a position in this company, and just for $99 just start wearing the patch. But listen, you want to wear it for 90 days. You're going to spend $30 more doing that if you just bought the $295 and got it done. But more importantly, this isn't about really that. It's really about the people that you love and care about, and how quick can you get this on them? How much are they suffering right now? How much do they need you to be the miracle in their life? And do they need, like, I didn't want my family and friends to wait for my miracle because I already believed it was going to work. I believed it. And it's okay if you don't believe it right now. So then you need to get the patches on you to begin to believe it, because your family and friends are waiting for you to believe it. Because you're not going to call them until you do. You can't fake calling somebody. You can only call them if you believe it. Some believe it after they wear the patch. That's okay. Andy Mandy. Some believe it before the patch. Me. I believe Joyce. I'm like, oh, it worked for her and her sister. It's going to work for everybody. All right, so I'm pretty simple. Let's go. Get these patches on everybody's foot as possible. Let's see what happens. And bam, that launched us. And so, and I would have bought a bigger kit. I could only buy 20. Long abundance. So if you can't, we get it. You have the 6-pack, you have the 3-pack to get started. That is the best way to give yourself the runway. But now if you're married and you just got the 9-8 for you, what about your spouse? Because what's going to happen is they're going to have a result faster than you are. And here's what I found. If I patch, because I share one patch with everybody. We just came from a networking event, I passed like 6 people. I share one patch because 1 in 5 to 1 in 8 are a one-patch wonder. I passed a guy, we had 2 cyber biz. He came to the East. We came out and fixed our car yesterday. I got home for a couple of things. And he texted back and said, hey, Ken, the rest of the day, my pain, my back pain, I didn't have that. I've had for days. The whole rest of the day, I didn't have it. Oh, good. You're one patch wonder, because I tell people. Passed another friend at a networking event. And I didn't know this, but he called me the next morning. I didn't know that he had had a Boston knee surgery. And he says the next morning, I almost ran to the bathroom, and I had to cripple to the bathroom, almost cripple to the bathroom. And I was like, oh, how the heck that just happened? He called me and said, we were one patch wonder. I told you it's 1 in 5, 1 in 8. So I love sticking everybody with one kiss. I'll tell them, if I tell them it's 90 days, you want this? It's 90 days. That's what you want to think about. So the point of all that is 4 people, 2 on the left, 2 on the right, your best friend, your mom, not people you want to build a business with, people that you love and care about, need to get on this for a minimum 90 days. Because if those 4 people at least buy a 3-pack, at least you're on a 6-pack. As long as you're on a 6 or 20-pack, and then your friends, 2 left, 2 right, at least on a 3-pack. You're on a 2-sleeve monthly subscription. They're on a 1-sleeve monthly subscription. Well, why do we want them to do that? Because first of all, they have a 30-day back buying guarantee. For day 29, they're not loving it. They can say, hey. But what's happening is, and you'll learn this from people who invited you, you're gonna be put on a team, on a left or right team. And what's gonna happen is there are people between you and them that are also gotta put people on the same team by default. They're coming to the computer system, they gotta go underneath you. As a pyramid, just ask, and you're gonna get credit for all that, as long as you're having one of these ordered each month. And so while you're trying to figure out your friend who put you in, who loves and cares about you, there you got people coming down underneath you on one side. So you got a team being built underneath you. You didn't even know, hey, how do I get 10 people underneath me? And all that's counting to you because at least you're gonna be holding on to one of these a month. So that's the power. Just hold on to one of these a month, if that makes sense. And and here it is. So McDonald's, they have teenagers that run a multi-million-dollar business because they run a franchise manual. We have a franchise manual. It's called thisisitteam.com. Led by Steve and Gina Merritt. You go to thisisitteam.com, and that's kind of like the franchise manual, but it's a lot easier, thanks to them. And so we have thisisitteam.com. Go on the next one. And you saw thisisitinfo.com. That is awesome because that is our best friend. So when people want to know more about this product, you don't have to explain it to them and be a salesperson. You can just send them, hey, all the experts are on there. I want to give you this site, thisisitinfo.com. And so that takes the burden off you when you're sharing throughout the day of how I'm trying to explain it so you can get on about your day. And you say, hey, let me text you this site. It will tell you all about it. Take a look at the videos. And then you can invite them to a Zoom at night. Alrighty. So yeah, now is the time. What do you want to do? Who do you love? Who in your life are you ready to be the miracle for? The next 4 people, like Andy and Mandy and Greg and Nena, and my children who thank us. And all we did is share with them. We didn't make this patch, but we got to be a miracle for them. So let's move to the next slide. As we mentioned, we're all part of a team, fast growing team in the world. And here's the beautiful thing about the team. We're all saying the same thing, doing the same thing, experiencing the same thing. So we all get to help each other. It makes it easy, which is awesome. Well, we went from making 1,000 a week to 1,000 a day on an event like this. What is this? This is, I love Tony Robbins. This is like a really great event that you go to, but you don't come away 2 months later the same person you were before, and all these stomach got deflated out of you. This, you go to something like this, and you come away with greater conviction, greater belief. And now you like, oh no, I gotta call this person, I'll call that person. And well, if you invite 10 other friends with you that come to this too, now you just 10x yourself. It's the smartest way to redeem time, to accelerate your ability to blow your business up. And I wish they had at least 3 of these a year. They have one in person and they have another one that was virtual. And so they may change that because this event is called Next Level. It's in Orlando. It's on August 8th. It's a Friday night, because people are busy. And that's all day Saturday. They have amazing church service on Sunday. It's just spectacular. And so it's the first hotel is already sold out. And it's only like $300 or $400 a person. That is nothing for a hotel room, for a ticket, for an amazing meal, for training that I spent tens of thousands of dollars on when I was building my advertising company. I'm like, this is crazy. And so this is convention.com, or you can scan it up. You want to get registered for that because the reason is that you register for that while your belief is gaining, you're enrolling more people. You want everybody you enroll, you want them to come with you too. Remember, you have one shot at this, and then this is it. All right, let's go to the next one. That was the last one. We have Zoom events, right? Like tonight, tomorrow night, right? There's Thursday Spanish speaking. There's so many go on the day. There's Friday afternoon, and there's a lot of entities, smaller ones that me and Andy and Greg and Mena are doing additionally to be able to help you who want to get your friends introduced to this, to see it, to get the burden off you. And then eventually you get up here. You take ownership of your life. Do you have anything else you want to add? So, yeah, let me have that. So, thanks, honey. Yeah, so this is the form. And you know what? Old school is new school. Like, I sign everybody up on paper. It's faster. Like, I want to redeem time because this company's giving nights of life back. We have time, crazy time, and resource. I'm taking 23 for my 60th birthday in May. We're going to go in August. I'm taking all my 10 grandbabies. I'm taking their parents, and we're all going on an amazing cruise. And I don't have to concern myself financially about that. I'm going to go make some memories. And I'll start with this form. And then I help enroll other people. I just take, hey, what's your name, address, phone number, credit card number, which pack do you want, and which commitment, one or two sold. And then I get them off the phone. And then I key it in after that. So now they're done, boom. And then I key it in when I get home or whatever, and it's the fastest way. It's crazy that old school is new school. It is the fastest way to enroll people. I'm like, this is faster than a link. Links also get kind of hiccupy and people like, they may, have second thoughts, but I want to be with them. I want to answer all their questions because I want them to know the value, get where they're due to change their life and who's the miracle they want to be and help get their first 4 people. And that's what we want to do. We want to help you get your first 4 people. It's that simple. And then we're going to help your friends who are ready, help get their 4 people. And that's how you make all the money in the business. 4 people as it goes, 4 people. It's kind of crazy. So that's kind of the comp plan. So, all right. Well, listen, it's been an honor to be with you all tonight. And do we have anything else up there I'm missing? Nothing. That's it. Yep, that's it. All right. And, so where are you at? And, get with the person who invited you. And we're ready to run with you. You're on a rocket ship, fast growing company in the world, in this space. And once everybody knows, they'll know. And they don't know right now. And so now we can get the miracle for them. So, well, it's been a blessing to be with you tonight. Thank you. We're honored to share this amazing opportunity to change our life. And we pray you see what we see. And because we want you to experience what we now do. So blessings, everybody.
Have there been any studies?
Oh, yeah.
80 people studying.
Studying.